Hello everyone and welcome. Welcome back to City 17. Now I actually can't do it. Nope. Yeah, welcome back to Half-Life 2. We are actually in the final parts of this game right now. And we are I think in Anti-Citizen number 1. Great name for a level. And so far we've been kind of through the slop of the game. Like, as I said last time, the moment the game stops being more about exploration and interaction and tries to be actually a bit more combat focused, you realize that the combat just wasn't really good and it becomes kind of mediocre and boring. So, no better time than jump in. The revolution is on. Yeah, the fighting is on. Time to yeet the Combine out, and I guess next time is Half-Life 2 Episode 1 then. Milk. Oh yeah, right. Dog is with us. Yeah, shit has changed. Get him, dog. Hey, once more, cat. Yeah. And this right here is the future of animation, just directly working. Impressive shit, I'm not gonna lie. How are you doing? You know, it's kind of interesting to think about the fact that the holding the door open scenes very much used in, you know, later games like Call of Duty to, you know, mimic loading times. Well, yeah, that was the G-Man. Oh boy. Yeah. The ranked experience. I think everyone hates it. Hey, wait. Did I go to wrong? No, wait, you can just go over here. I'm just very stupid. There was a safe zone, obviously. Ah. Just 4 left? Sounds rough.
Hell, Gordon Freeman. About time, too.
Yeah. And here's an interesting thing. See, I had an idea for spicing up the general combat. by looking at the past of the Half-Life series. Yeah, okay, then you definitely need to... That is hard to get up there. Oh yeah, look, this was where you were in the beginning, so... You can recognize it still, but it's just not the same. Yep, the future of animations, everyone.
Freeman, you're here.
Dr. Freeman? We're coming with you. With you here, Dr. Freeman, we can finally make some headway.
And now everyone follows you.
You got it, Doc.
And you have a little squad. So, yeah, this is off-brand opposing force. Widely enough.
Let me get out of your way.
And, yeah, so,
CP!
disagreeing force. I mean, the interesting part about opposing force, in my opinion, is the fact that, opposing force was actually
Watch out for the hoppers, they're everywhere.
kind of a great, it was kind of great, in my opinion. Well, I fucked up. Anyway. But there's more health. And more health. It's not bad. We have a medic now. Oh yeah. Yeah, I kind of did, but I mean, it worked out in the end. So, I mean, the thing is, what I find very fascinating is,
Look out, Freeman!
I'm so sorry. Okay.
Pardon me.
So sorry,
Watch out for the hoppers, they're everywhere.
Steve. I don't know how he's called. They usually have names. Yeah, I guess it very much is an oops. I just killed someone. And the Sepefm helps me. Well. Oh yeah. Yeah, Opposing Force, great game. Interesting that they, basically picked the squad mechanics from Opposing Force. Which, you know, I feel like if you point this out that it's opposing force, it might anger some people because, you know what? It is so loud. What has happened? It might anger people because, you know, opposing force is from Gearbox. And people really hate the suggestion that Gearbox can make good games. Even though personally I would say they generally make pretty good games. Like, oh no, the Borderlands humor can be a bit cringe. It's still a good game. Like, yeah, you heard it. I'm defending Borderlands on this channel. I genuinely think Borderlands is a good game series. I don't hate it. You know, Aliens Colonial Marines is a weird thing. I'm not fully blaming them from what I know. I could say, but I mean, you could blame them a bit, but like, yeah. I think that's one thing, and you know, melon. A lot of games had melons during that time. You know, a lot of people just hate on you know, also Borderlands and such, so, you know. Average Fox news in the chat over there. I guess so. Yeah. But yeah, that's I don't know. For some reason people really hated Borderlands and I don't get it.
Dr. Freeman, we hope for one more fighter to help storm that barricade. We never guessed it would be you.
Wait for me!
Dr. Freeman, I'm coming with you.
Wait for me, Dr. Freeman. I'll go with you.
And the squad mechanics were actually not that well implemented as in opposing forces, but like but that game generally is like really good and has like a great weapon and enemy lineup, and God, I feel like I really should play that one. Okay, you still... I thought you were able to rip them out once. Ah, well.
I'm hurt!
And as usual...
While I reload.
Here, have a med kit.
Thank you. That healing just is very broken. Yeah, at least in opposing force, we also had stuff like, you know, I think you could weld doors. It's kind of ironic. Aliens Colonial Marines really read a little bit like, you know, what they already did with opposing force, but it wasn't. Oh well. I think I just remember one thing I vividly remember is that about Colonial Marines is the fact that a lot of people were like, oh yeah, this is gonna come out and it probably is gonna be great. And I remember it came out, and on that day someone, you know, I was in boarding school, so, and it would also not run on my PC, but and someone came and, you know, he streamed it over Skype to me. And I had a fucking laugh flash because there was a fucking pop-up to level up. You know, for a level up. And you need to keep in mind, this was mere months after duty calls happened. If you remember duty calls, okay, so for everyone who doesn't know, duty calls was a thing that the I think People Can Fly, was it? It was either People Can Fly or Flying Wild Hog. The people who did how was it called again? Bulletstorm, yes. If you remember Bulletstorm. Because basically the thing is, to advertise their game, they basically made a little fake game. Because they were like, you know, all of the video games are kind of similar right now, you know, and they're doing the same thing. So they made a parody game. And it's very short, and it's just, you know, you go forward, you shoot generic bad guys that literally announce they're generic bad guys. And even the character says boring. But when you kill someone, there's a pop-up. And it's some absurd rank. Like, I just remember one. It was Master Sergeant Super Person. And it announces that on first rank up, Master Sergeant Super Person. And the thing is, you know, I had this stream over Skype of Aliens Colonial Marines, and that fucking level up pop-up came. And my mind just literally instantly went, and I spoke it out, rank up Master Sergeant Super Person, because I'm sorry, it is, even I knew back then that duty calls was over the top. It was just an absolute exaggeration of how these games worked, you know, especially as single-player games. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have fired the grenade. Yeah, sorry, most of Anti-Citizen #1 is just, you know, more shooting. And, you know, it's the whole... I get what they were trying to do, but... It's not a hard game. And it's still pretty boring. You just have, you know, your squad with you. But yeah, I saw that and I just went like that. No way. It's just, I don't know if by accident or not, they just made the fucking parody real. And that was amazing. Well, not amazing. Because I don't get it, because... Yeah. There was a lot of... it was just very weird. And frankly, I don't get it. Because again, afterwards they kept making Borderlands, and I'm gonna admit it, I like Borderlands.
Sorry.
Oh, hi.
Hey, it's Freeman. Let's follow him.
Yes, yes, Nerd Messiah is here. Ah, right. I generally like that they have some form of... Oh yeah, think a little bit. Frankly... Borderlands is that kind of game that I wish I could once, like... I could do some form of playthrough. With like... once a playthrough with like... Actually maybe all people. Yeah, like all positions filled. That would be great. But yeah. Get 4 people to regularly show up. Interesting that they have this... Where does that come from? You know, I only now noticed that they have... That's a German one. Wait a second. Wait a second.
You waiting for somebody?
Yes, yes, I'm waiting for something to... No, they had... Yeah. God damn it, it's... Okay, was there actually, like, ever a thing where they talked about if Half-Life 2 was supposed to be set in the GDR? Because, okay. I know, this is probably weird to bring up, but, like, I've, like, looked at some of the cars and was like, wait, are those Trabis? And I was like, you know, I discarded that. They probably just were like, you know, oh, hey, let's take just some Eastern European looking cars and such. So that's that, you know? But I just looked it up, and yeah, that's the thing. That's the same, basically the same from the front and such. It's very similar, and that is the BRDM2. That's an East German wheeled tank. I mean, Soviet one, but yeah, they mainly used it in the... Weird. I know they wanted to do Eastern Europe, but like, I really feel like they might have just wanted to make it at one point East Germany, which would make sense actually. Who knows?
Gordon Freeman? It is you, isn't it? Hey, give me a minute. I'm gonna plant some charges to blow this open.
But yeah, I really would like to play through. Kind of funny how much of Half-Life 2's later half now feels very much like, you know, the average modern shooter game.
Lock on the other side, Dr. Freeman. Maybe you can find a way around. Looks nasty in there. Good thing you've got that suit.
You know, very much like the modern shooter, but yeah, and then at least they do some breakups of the gameplay, some platforming, I guess. Oh yeah, remember that sign? big thing during, you know, the later parts of Zen. Oh well. But yeah. It's playing through, like... I think this is always the biggest problem when it comes to co-op games. Get people to coherently show up. You know what? I see what they were going for with this passage, but it ain't it. But yeah. Playing through all of Borderlands. Pipe dream. I mean, you probably could say, oh, but why don't you ask Zagonia? And the answer is, I do have asked her a few times. Here's the problem, she likes Krieg. And she basically will only play Krieg. So I tried to get her, be like, maybe you can try another character, but no. It's just Krieg. She likes that one character. So, you know, replaying Borderlands 2, probably on the table, and maybe with a better character than Gage. You know, having a bit more synergy, actually. Wait. Did I just die due to a headcrab bomb? And then someone literally said dibs on the suit. I did not know that detail is in Half-Life 2. For how aggravating some parts are, that got a good. That's good. That's nice. Yeah, Oh what? Ah. Well, melon. Yeah. This is one of the things that really Half-Life 2 tried to do, having all these small moments. It's neat. It's not Laszlo, but it's neat.
Gotta reload.
Okay.
Behind you.
Oh well. But yeah. Hope the climb right now is working well. So there's something unsettling about, you know, the walls literally creeping in. Visually, the game knows what to do. Is something bugged? Or am I just stupid?
Behind you. Cover me while I reload.
There are grenades here. Does it want me to...
Password.
Okay.
Freeman, you're not leaving without me.
That was definitely a bugged script. That, yeah. Let me out.
Okay, come across. Take this med kit. Sorry. Take this med kit.
Anyway, this is how we can heal now.
All I had. Well, anything.
You have medkits.
It's finally come. I don't dream anymore. I don't think this war's ever gonna end. Sometimes I dream about cheese. They're never gonna make a stalker out of me.
Leave it alone.
Here, have a med kit.
You have still more medkits. Also, sometimes I dream of cheese. Very true. Very relatable.
Got one.
Yeah. Seriously, I don't have a lot to say about the game right now. It is mostly just shooting. And the shooting is very average, as you know.
Pardon me.
Once again, Yeah, that is sadly the thing I will keep saying about Half-Life 2. Its biggest problem is just it's such a mediocre game in terms of gameplay. And that wouldn't be, you know, the worst. Because, again, in the beginning, I would definitely say Half-Life 2 is more about the experience. Than the shooting. And fair enough. Oh. It is.
While I reload.
The problem is just then, you know, then it tries to be all about the shooting. And the shooting is just aggressively mediocre.
Here, patch yourself up.
It's so weird. And you have like,
While I reload.
and yeah, you have the section that is basically, you know, let's be classic Half-Life, and it's it's like basically one of the worst in the game. And then the one that is like, hey, we have opposing force at home. It's also just very average. Can you get out of the way? God damn it. Time to actually do this.
Sorry, Freeman.
But yeah.
Gordon! I had a feeling I'd find you here.
Because you were scripted.
I've got Dr. Kleiner in a safe spot. Now we can join the deployment. There's a command center downstairs. I'm hoping to find information about generator locations. Ready? Let's go.
I mean, it's Alex, so I guess we should just have to follow her.
Pardon me.
Oh well. But yeah. Again, I actually also don't get the... I don't get the hate for Borderlands. Like, I know some people are like, oh, it's such a bad game, and like... I get some of the humor isn't like... I mean, yeah, some of the humor can be bad. I'm really not like mincing words here. But like, it's not that bad. Like, for example, if I look at stuff like, for example, like Borderlands 2, people are like, ah, haha, Handsome Jack is the funny guy, but, you know, he's the funny guy that then turns out to be, like, you know, an absolute fucking monster. But I talked about that before, which is why I like him. That he is more than just, you know, he's more than just the funny guy, the funny evil guy. That's neat.
Well, we're in luck. There's a generator in the square outside. We're trying to disable as many as we can to loosen the combat grip on this sector. It'll take me a few minutes to expose the core, then I'll need you to hit it with a burst from the grabbing gun. In the meantime, watch my back. Let's go. Gotta reload.
Cyber Cafe.
Too long. As soon as the generator's down, I'll open that gate and we can get out of here.
Cafe Baltic. Oh well.
Cover me while I reload.
Oh yeah, the art director of this game and Dishonored died, so that's actually a bit of a bummer, sad news, but hey Claire, how are you doing? With the yeah, I mean, I really just wish this game would have done more with, you know. Because the art direction is fantastic, but, you know, the rest of the game. Oh no, that's actually not... Does it happen with other games? I mean, really depends on what is the problem here, you know. If it's the if it's like just a hard drive, doable. If it's the mainboard, might just be getting blue, but maybe.
There goes the external shield.
Well, that really sucks. I mean, pretty good that you're playing Monster Hunter Wilds on console then. Oh god. What? I didn't even get anyone near to her. What happened? Was it like a lucky grenade? The fuck? Yeah, that definitely sucks then. Ah. Oh. Okay, wait. Why is this section suddenly so hard? I'm out of here.
Okay, Barney should be on the far side of that canal. Well, there it used to be. Let me see what it's.
Well, that's at least something.
Wait for me here.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll see how shit works out in the end. I mean, it is kind of obvious that, like, you know, it becomes more and more. That Wild seems to be a bit of a rushed game. Like, I think the one upside they have over a lot of other games is that a lot of people are not, you know, yet. Let's just be clear, they're not long in the fandom. You know? So this definitely feels a bit like, you know, a lot of people are, you know, came from Worlds and they don't really expect anything, even though there is Rise and the moment you get remembered by, hey, a lot of people a lot of games get released in February because you know, you need companies need something for Q4, and it just makes so much sense. And here's the thing, I feel like Wilds is already a game that let's just be real here, a game that had too much, that is chewing on too much. This is probably also feels this might also be the case why it feels so weird to see, you know, a data mine and it's 30 monsters at launch again, even though, you know, Rise had easily 16 more. And Dragon's Dogma has, in some cases, a better tech level than, you know, Wilds, which is impressive how they managed to do that. Like, there's no reason for Wilds to be this unoptimized other than, you know, they won't be able to get the game out. Or, you know, won't be able to delay the game, so fuck it. Let's just recommend with frame gen and hope for the best. Which is, you know, kind of unacceptable considering the game isn't looking... You'd think... I mean, here's the thing. I totally get not reusing world assets to a degree. Because there might be some incompatibility in terms of, you know, what the games, you know, the engines. But Rise did. And, you know, Rise did it for a game where they technically should have had a completely different setup of monsters than, you know, fucking Engine F. Capcom came, I've been over. Yeah, and like, again, Rise technically has more open areas, like not bigger, but more open. You can actually climb up everywhere. And they managed to do that on the Switch. And, you know, that game basically ran butter smooth. And looks pretty similar. Yeah. I mean, sometimes shit just comes down to who's working on what. Like, for example, when people, you know, when BioWare got handed Frostbite engine, people were like, it's a bad engine, when the reality was BioWare just got handed the engine, not any of the tools. Or, you know, didn't have as much experience, actually, because meanwhile, you know, Inquisition was rough. Andromeda and such was even rougher, you know, didn't even hand over, like, a lot to the other team from BioWare, which was, like, that's just straight ass. Sorry, that is straight ass behavior. But on the other hand, you know, all the Need for Speed games, a lot of stuff Criterion worked on, that was good. That ran smoothly. But yeah, no, Wild seems very much as an... You know, again, I get why if they wanted to make a new monster selection, but a lot of the monsters in Rise were also, you know, not copy-pasted from World. They were new models to a big degree. And that was impressive. And yeah, I feel very much like they are basically mandated to get the game out right at this point in time, not to make the game good. Like, a few things about it just, you know, it also just I feel like I know why a bunch of stuff just feels so off in hindsight. Because, like, if you, for example, look at, let's say, the whole seasons thing, that's great, but it really is like the cheapest implementation you could have made for the thing. And you're like, okay, why? And then you realize, oh wait, the game has over 100 players in a lobby, but like also just in the most bare bone ways possible. And here's a, you know, tinfoil hat prediction, or, you know, guess from me. Wilds was supposed to have a big hub / city from where you actually do shit. And they scrapped that because, you know, additional development time. This is why I think a lot of the stuff like the areas and such are done because they're because, you know, those were like some of the things they just kept working on, and a bunch of monsters were already done. But the whole online features thing just feels so off, so weird. And I really think they probably wanted to do like a newer version of Frontier, because a bunch of stuff like just points to that, you know. The whole season system returning, the 100 players in a lobby, you know, cut down to say just 16 visible ones. Like, there are more, but, you know, they're a list. So like, it is so bare bones that I really think they wanted to make an online game, and they couldn't. So they repackaged what they made for the online game with, you know, I'd never seen this asset. Wow. They probably repackaged what they had for the online game into a single player title. And like, listen, I don't know if this is the best call, but I mean, it's a good call to get a game out. Let's be real here. But yeah, I really feel like a bunch of that stuff is, you know, it just is more frustrating for me, because again, this feels like, you know, they wanted to make a new version of those, and now it just kind of is the, you know, half-baked version of, you know, oh hey, we had the monsters ready, we had the areas ready, let's just repackage it as, you know, actually this is kind of an open world semi-thing, Monster Hunter, and not even like the best open world let's just be real here, I've seen better styles of open worlds in that style. Like, I don't mind stuff, but it just feels like if they made it so that you just had like a general hub again, it would have had a better structure. Yeah, I generally feel right now that Monster Hunter Wilds is a rush job, and we probably will only see the full game when, you know, the expansion is out. I mean, you know what? That's fair, but I would disagree with that. Like, there are definitely cases where some Monster Hunter games come out and you clearly see they are either, you know, trying to figure out the, you know, the general gameplay loop, or, you know, they just, you know, had some technical limitations. Like, but there are Monster Hunter games that launched, you know, that just launched with high rank, that felt significantly more complete and well-rounded in their vision, especially, than what I'm currently seeing of Wilds. Like, Wilds is, again, ambitious, but also, you know, there's a reason I stopped playing the beta, because I think at some point you just have to accept that the beta is not the fucking game. And I don't think I want to actually keep playing that, because it's just the combat. It's not even the combat, it is a combat that will be axed in literally... It's literally already axed. Which makes it even more obvious that this was a rush job, because why else would the devs sit down and be like, oh, we should totally rework how our combat works, you know, on short notice, and you just sit there being like, oh boy, did you even figure out what your combat is you want to be? Because one of the most interesting things about that is basically a lot of the you know, they are like, look, our big feature is this and this and this and this and this, you know, basically. Let's just cut to the chase. The big feature is supposed to be the wound system. The wound system is, let me just put it like this, it is so underbaked, I have no clue how the fuck did it happened. It, you know, I can say it is better than the Clutch Claw, because, you know, it's not in the fucking way. But the wound system is just not good. It's just... when I can say about a feature of a game, that the best part about it is that it's not in the way. You don't really have a good feature. But also, the wound system isn't even the key part to the combat system. Yeah, no, that's, sorry. The irony is, the big element to the combat in Monster Hunter Wilds is not the wound system. It's a perfect dodge and perfect parry system. Because those actually give you a lot of, you know, they give you a lot of damage boosts. And yeah, that's a decision they made. I have my problems, but like, it seems that this is also getting slightly nerfed. That, you know, the baseline stuff is going to get stronger. That is like the main thing I felt I felt reading the reworks, which is good because, you know, I don't think a lot of people want their Monster Hunter games to turn into timing games, even though, again, some do, and I actually live with one. Say hi, you little timing greatsword freak.
Hey.
Yeah. The thing is that greatsword was always about positioning and timing, and yeah, to a degree, you know, I'd say the perfect parry that it has, because yeah, shocking, it can block. Like, the greatsword is a block machine. Yeah, Agony activity. And, you know, I can totally get, you know, Agonia says she likes that because, you know, it replicates the idea of, you know, timing the combat right again with the monster. And Yeah, I see that. I think this is maybe not the worst idea, considering, you know...
That's half of what I said.
What?
It's half of what I said specifically about a greatsword.
Yeah. What I wanted... I kind of wanted to... I don't know where to go with that, actually, because, I mean, you said a bunch of stuff, and it's
I
hard to...
said two things, basically.
Okay, yeah. Then...
Like, they technically kept the spirit of the greatsword with that. Mm-hmm. But the gameplay is still not the greatsword.
Yeah, that's the problem. The spirit of the greatsword is there again, because for some reason...
Barney said you were on the way. That's split up by snipers, and he's pinned down on a warehouse up ahead. Go ahead. He's relying on you.
I mean, there's the irony. You know, the thing about the greatsword is that it's similar to the hammer, is you position yourself right, and then you do big damage, right? And contrary to that, there was the other playstyle that everyone jokingly named Hobo Style. And for some reason, someone at Capcom decided that greatsword should be charging Hobo Style. I do not know why, I do not know where that came from, but they decided it had to be done, so now we have charging Hobo Style. You know, at least, again...
Help me! Help me! I thought we'd be safer down here. Little we know the place was infested. The rest of them headed upstairs. They took the chance with the snipers. I guess there's
Oh well.
up there.
But yeah, the thing I wanted to point out is that I think a lot of stuff in Wilds feels underbaked, and because again, you wouldn't advertise the wound system when the whole perfect block, perfect carry thing is actually way more important to the combat loop. So yeah, we'll have to see how that is in the end. Again, they're reworking, so who knows? Otherwise, yeah. The rest... I'm sitting here thinking about why does Wilds need to be open world? Ever thought about that? Like, it's a big why, right? Because I don't see the benefit, personally.
Over here! Gordon, I can't move. These snipers got me pinned down. Gordon, lob a couple grenades. That'll clear them out.
Like, sure, some people might say, you know, it's a personal opinion, but I don't really think I want my Monster Hunter game. I don't think my Monster Hunter game needs, you know, there we go. Like, the thing I want in a Monster Hunter game is a good guild hall. It's more out game, you know, out combat activity things that, you know, have some meaningful impact. See, the farm to come back, you know, some form of housing that old title said. That feature was great, and every time I bring it up, people are like, oh yeah, that sounds great. And cool, it's just gutted. It's not here anymore. It's just dead. You know? I don't... And like, you know, if you didn't connect things, you could have
Over here.
you could have made it so that the areas itself could maybe be a bit bigger, because as I showed the last time I streamed the beta, it's just like 5 areas. It's basically a frontier level. Just, you know, the big areas are a bit bigger and, you know, no loading times. It's just weird because Monster Hunter feels smaller the more they try to be open world.
Let me get this gate. My civil
You know?
status still gives me liberty.
It's like, oh, you're finally in the world. You can just go through it. And now I sit there being like, I don't know.
I can pop up tents everywhere with my magical box where everything I ever owned is in.
Yes,
And I
that
can fast travel between that every time I'm not in trouble. Seems very small at that point.
it feels very small. And the thing is, if you want to be able that people can actually restock at camps and such, you could still make it more integral instead of, you know, just a very just, you know, click and done affair. Oh. God, this game can be loud at times.
There's an old building up ahead, a bank or museum or something like that. Whatever the hell it used to be, now it's a nexus for Overwatch in City.
You know? Oh, this level.
There it is, the Overwatch nexus. Looks like they're mobilizing big time. You can sort of see the gate from here. I'll show you when we get to street level. We'll have to get in that building to open the gate. Even then, the suppression device will suppress anyone coming through unless we shut it down. Then let's go.
You can see how this part of the game was a little bit underdeveloped.
Take this med kit.
Because actually, this is where we come back to the whole, you know, some. Oh. Some games are just more complete at launch. And I say that with confidence because, I mean, my best example is Portable Third. That was, god damn it, that was a PSP title with also actually more monsters than what Wilds is apparently launching, and yet, god damn it, you know what? And yet it had just way more things on offer. You had
Shut it down from inside.
again, you kind of had the best guild hall in the whole series. You had the best farm in the whole series. You had great levels, actually. I mean, okay, it's the 3rd generation. You played it probably. The levels were so good they basically reused them for. I mean, they had to reuse them for 3 Ultimate.
Hey, let us out of here.
Prisoners. Let them out, Gordon. We could use their help.
This'll do nicely.
yeah, there was a lot of good stuff going on with that. And also a lot of subspecies, a lot of, you know, unique subspecies. Yeah, no, they were like legitimately really good, launch Monster Hunter titles that didn't really need, you know, they didn't need to have a G-Rank update to feel complete. Then again, you know, Portable Third never had a G-Rank update. I refuse to acknowledge 3 Ultimate as that. I think 3 Ultimate is a fine game, but it is the G-Rank version of Tri, not Portable Third. And even then, I don't think you can actually say it is that, because, you know...
Take this med kit. Take this med kit.
Oh, God damn it. I forgot how this worked.
Sorry.
Because here's the thing. 3 Ultimate had just all the content, but... So there was the perfect guild hall in, you know, Portable Third. That was, you know, gone. That's not in the game anymore. That's not in 3 Ultimate. And on the contrary, you're like, okay, but is there an online hub? There is an online hub. So, it's not log-lag. So the Tri people also got shafted. I mean, it could very well be that log-lag was the key to making everyone trans, but that's a different story, you know? But yeah, how do I progress? You know what? I definitely am wasting most of the time here because I sometimes just don't know how to progress. Or is this like... No, they want me to go through here, and... What am I supposed to do? This door should open. Am I just really stupid right now?
Watch out! Pardon me.
Oh, is the trigger broken? Don't tell me a trigger is broken.
Sorry, Doc.
I killed the thing.
Sorry, Doc.
Do I need to go outside again?
Sorry, Doc.
Yeah.
This is not a scientific revolution, Spark. This is death and finality. Humanity is evolved.
Coming with us, Bonnie?
Excuse me.
No. I swear, did I do something wrong?
Let me get out of your way.
Bonnie, come in.
Sorry, Doc.
Come on. I think you need to actually go in there. Come on, Bonnie. Come on. Get into that door. Don't go out again. Yeah. No. No. Yeah. Yes. No. No. There's a doorway. You. Did they actually get your brain? They did get his brain. Come on. It's I swear, I did. Now he's here. Oh my god. Oh. Das war eine schwere Geburt.
Uh-oh, dropships. They'll be coming from the roof.
Here, have a med kit.
So, yeah, Barney just literally refused to do his job. That's great. Oh, well. Anyway, where was I? I was talking about more Monster Hunter, I think. Because, sadly, there's not much to talk about Half-Life right now, because this is it. You're going through the open areas and, you know, just kind of shoot it, and these are some of the most bleak ones. They have some good...
Let us out of here! Let us out!
They have some good concepts, but yeah.
Excuse me.
Barney.
Take this med kit. Here, patch yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 3 generators to disable. Might as well start with this one. Hey, you've got Eli's gravity gun. Try giving those generators a jolt and see if you can shake them up a bit. Man, Overwatch owns the roof, and that's where we're headed. Okay, 2 more generators to go.
Well... Yo, I am... Get out of the...
Get down!
Walk! Move! No, don't heal me! You...
Let me get out of your way.
You're not out of the... Great. What the fuck happened to the physics?
Hey, you've got Eli's gravity gun. Try giving those generators a jolt. See if you can shake them up a bit. Man, Overwatch owns the room.
Good. The AI really is making me very angry right now.
2 more generators to go.
Amazing. Not, but still.
Hey, let us out of here! Let us out, we'll throw into it.
We're surrounded.
Behind you!
But yeah.
Try using the hoppers against them. Set some traps for them, Gordon.
Can you all just... I swear, how many times did the goddamn AI corner me in this level? The answer is too many fucking times.
Here, have a med kit.
Have a like, it's not a hard level, but... God damn it. Oh well. But yeah. Wilds really feels a bit... It feels very much like an underbaked game, and... I'm a bit sad about that, you know? Probably not,
One generator to go.
oh well. It's actually an interesting thing to note. I think the biggest part that Wilds right now has is that a lot of the community, especially influencers, are
That much security, there must be something good in there. Go for it, Doc. I'll wait.
they're just a lot more positive in general than any other gaming community would be. Like, generally, they are way more positive. And sure, you could make a case that, you know, not every, you know, some are basically unnecessarily negative. Well, fair enough, I guess. There are also some that are very unreasonably negative. Also fair point. But, you know, straight up ignorant. But yeah, I think a lot of people are just looking at it with very rose-tinted eyes and just do want to overlook the fact that
It's rose-tinted glasses. You don't tint your eyes.
they do.
Okay.
Holy shit, I just defeated my girlfriend in an argument. Yes! I am the queen of the world. But yeah, no, they're very much looking at it with like, you know, it's good. And like, fair point. I think the strongest part of it is that we didn't have a Monster Hunter game in a long time. Like, for years, some years now. And I generally like playing new Monster Hunter games, so, you know, even my dumb ass is sitting there being like, yeah, you know what, I am interested in Wilds, not going to lie about that. It's just, I think a lot of them do not want to see the very obvious signs that there just might be problems. And, like, potentially very telling problems for the future. And, yeah, that's one thing, you know, this question of, oh, hey, where does this lead in the end? How could this series evolve? What would actually be the next step? Because I feel like really they did make it, they made it, how's it called? Fuck. I think they made it, how's it called? An open world game from what they had. Because that was to a degree easier to sell than the other possibilities. Yeah, that might be a cynical look to it, but yeah, I'm firmly, you know, when it comes to design, I'm very firmly of the idea that abstraction is king. You cannot win against abstraction. The moment you try to, like, the thing is, if you actually try to make something to scale, okay? You're basically bound to run into problems. You're bound to fail to a degree. Because making, like, something actually feel big, and then also making it so that, you know, hey, this does not only feel big, this is big, but also, you know, filled with meaningful stuff. That is hard. And even some of the, you know, biggest studios, you know, and development teams don't really get that to a degree. Meanwhile, I would say, you know, if you actually made a Monster Hunter game with, you know, a classic guild hall, and now you could, you know, expand on some older mechanics, like, for example, hey, you know, hunters travel to the areas, and if you make it so that, oh, hey, here are, you know, the different areas in question, that's one thing. But you then have a map, and you see how your hunter travels to that area to set up camp. It can just be an icon moving over the map.
Sorry.
It doesn't need that is all you need. The rest is just literally the brain of everyone else involved filling in the gaps. That's it. It is almost criminal how easy that is. And trust me, Wilds won't be able to do that. Wilds is doing... Cam, I think you get my point, right? You can actually abstract a lot more. And hell, you can actually abstract even, you know, higher level missions. Like, here's the thing. Imagine if you only unlock G rank after, you know, you make a few quests, but the quests are not only like, oh, you prove your worth.
Keep these gates open long enough to make a difference. One up and connect the sky bridge. We need to let reinforcements come through from every possible direction. If any more citizens come through, I'll send them up to find you. See you when I see you, Gordon.
Oh, by the way, they legitimately placed another RPG here, just in case you lost or missed your other ones. Anyway. Okay. Sorry, I had to just take a breather. Yeah, the thing is that I generally think Monster Hunter would be better with a Guildhall and just 2D maps.
I mean, traveling.
Yeah, traveling. Because
now you turn it into 2D game.
What? Sorry, the game is a bit loud and you need to be a bit...
I'm just saying, with all the pauses, it's easy to miss context, and at that point you just said Monster Hunter should be a 2D game.
No.
Even though that's not what you mean.
Fair.
I know.
I wanted to say that you should just abstract travel for Monster Hunter. I think this will lead to a much better game, or would lead to a much better game overall. And frankly, yeah, what I want to say, you could be like, oh hey, G rank is actually unlocked by building an airship dock, an airship for your village. And this would also explain why, you know, for example... This would, for example, also explain why you are dropped, you know, another mechanic they actually cut from the whole series. You know, why you would just start with your own resources, because you could abstract it, as in, you know, the normal missions, you have time, you load up a cart, you go there, you have a cart with you, okay? You set up, you can set up a base camp and bring provisions. You could actually even turn that into a gameplay mechanic, because they do want stuff like restocking at camp. They do want things like and they want that. But this would make it so that, oh hey, yes, you can restock at camp, but only what you bring. And that would, you know, that's very sweet consistency and player agency, instead of, you know, the magical box. Because, yeah, everything you have in your... wait, did the game tab out? God damn it, Windows. You know, everything that you have in the village, yeah, sure, that's understandable. That's like a central storage anyway. But the rest? No, you could definitely do it so that everything you can restock has to be brought in by a cart. And then you can also say that, let's just say, you know, if you come in with an airship, you're basically being airdropped onto the area. And if you do that, you know, camp is set up later. And why are you being airdropped onto the map? Well, the answer is simple. The monsters are harder. So yeah, the monsters are harder in high, you know, high rank and G rank. So they just fly you in, drop you off onto the map where they can, and be like, there you go, survive. That's that. And frankly, I that would be great, because right now the game just stays very samey in how it is. You know, you always have the map unlocked. You don't start randomly. There's always a base camp. But you could change that.
You shut off the suppressor and open the gate. You can really move people through now. They can't fight it.
But again, I'm just like, why is that not a thing people talk about? Work with. I'm sorry, I just need to do some stuff here, okay? It really feels like the series tries to go into... It feels a lot like the series tries to go into a way, in a direction that isn't really about enhancing the core loop anymore. And I don't know how much the next title will be that. Because I think the biggest problem it has is... If you look at Rise, I really like Rise, and I think Rise is, to a certain degree, the better game than World. But also Rise really felt like, hey everyone, you wanted to do a second portable third game. Sorry, can you make a World for the Switch maybe? You can reuse what you've done, but please make a World for the Switch, okay? And I feel very mixed about that, because I feel like instead of the next big title, we might just actually see Wilds for the Switch. And I don't know how to feel about that. Okay, so now I'm just like generally stuck. What the fuck? Where's the ammunition box? Let me just have the ammunition box.
What's also interesting?
What?
What's also interesting?
It's also interesting.
What's also interesting?
Okay.
The biggest advertisement from the people who were at Capcom, who pretty much all of them say kind of the same things in the beginning, as if like slightly corporate mandated. That's how it feels. I don't know if it is, but okay, wait a second.
Maybe.
The thing I hear the most is like, ooh, this will like be a completely new gameplay loop. It will be enhanced because you can stay on the map and do more missions. To be fair, though, Try already had similar things with like you go into your backyard and hunt monsters until they're gone. In this case, they refresh. But then again, why would you, like story-wise? Because they're the emphasis of story and world building. Would you stay in basically your new temporary backyard and just hunt monsters? That's pretty much against anything the guild stands for.
Yeah, fair. Sorry, I'm just very much stuck at these dumb things right now.
The biggest benefit they point out is you don't need to go back to the village You can just stay and then later go back. And I'm like, okay, this is a very minor benefit. Even though most of the time, depending on where the smithy is available, I will just fast travel back anyway, so it will be a loading time. It will always be a loading time.
Yeah,
Maybe it's shorter, but like who cares?
it feels very nonsensical that they're like, oh, no more loading times needed. And I just sit there being like, why? Like, here's the thing. The loading times were not the issue for me, as long, you know, there was a gameplay loop.
You
And
could even call the loading time for Monster Hunter fucking immersive. If
Again.
you want to. Because you have a quest, you accept it, you go to the area, kill the monster, and you go back to your village, because that's where you're supposed to be.
yeah,
Could have done more with it, sure. But, like, I don't see how all the things we've lost even partially account for that minor benefit.
it. You know how this feels like? It's an on-paper benefit.
Yeah.
It's
It's not bad.
Yeah. It's not bad, but it's just like, I mean, at best you could say this is a side grade.
Hey, Dr. Freeman.
Apparently they also don't want to introduce cooking until later into the game because people felt overwhelmed.
Oh no, overwhelmed by cooking.
No, by apparently too many mechanics at once. Monster Hunter is not a very mechanics heavy game though.
Listen, if someone has a problem with cooking, you
It's not
shouldn't
the
take
problem of cooking. It was just given as an example that they apparently changed that, according to a YouTuber.
This definitely feels a lot like, oh yeah, we're stretching out everything, but we're using... Because, like, again, why would you care about these people? This isn't even to say, you know, a negative thing, but like, if someone is overwhelmed by your mechanics, they won't play the game anyway. Because, here's the thing.
Apparently they want to drip feed you, like slowly unlock areas where you first have to move through and stuff. Which I get exploring new lands in general. Like it fits with the theme, okay?
Yeah, sure.
But then I would like to be a bit more involved actually.
Yeah.
There we have to see what the game in the end will be, because we don't know.
But yeah, when someone comes with, oh, people were overwhelmed by mechanics, I sit there being like, I do not think those do not sound like people that should be listened to. Because, don't get me wrong.
Let me be wrong. That's an interesting
Don't-
statement.
Sorry, I said, don't get me wrong.
Ah.
I do agree that there are people that can be overwhelmed by mechanics, but here's the thing. And this is kind of an important thing in my opinion. People who are overwhelmed by mechanics and do not put in effort to learn said mechanics.
Apparently they analyzed world data, the data from world, when people stopped playing the game and stuff.
I mean, that is probably...
Which is like, oh great, you had a big hit, like it got popular for some reason. Because we didn't hear a while anything mainline Monster Hunter title-wise, and Monster Hunter fans were like, yay, we have more Monster Hunter, and then we got new fans, okay, good. But from this bunch, you're like, oh, this and this many people didn't stick, so we changing the game for the people who didn't play the game anymore?
Yeah, it's like you have 30 million sales and you want to change it to the few that didn't stick with your game. It comes down to a thing like, first of all, I think if someone isn't actually invested in learning your game, ignore them. Because yes, sure, people can be overwhelmed by mechanics, but also if someone is like, wait, I still want to play this game and I like a bunch of the mechanics here, they would put in the time. Similarly, you know, you need to keep in mind, Monster Hunter had a hardcore following and really good, like, Monster Hunter was a series that consistently sold up to 5 million units per release. As for a series, exclusively on handhelds, basically exclusively on handhelds. I think the last releases on console were 3 Ultimate and Portable Third HD. Those were the only ones before World releasing on consoles. If you can get, you know, consistently high sales numbers for such a series, that also is, in terms of tutorial, you know, kind of a, you know, swim or die thing, quite literally in the third entrance.
Oh, I never had I started with Troy and I never had a problem learning mechanics. It took a while because I did it without guides, online help, and completely alone. Yes.
Okay, actually, should I actually now put up your, you know what, fuck it, you're talking so much with me right now, I'm just put up your...
Yes, sorry, it's Monster Hunter. I like Monster Hunter.
Blast support is out, Argonia activities in now, they can probably hear you a bit better.
Okay.
Also, hello, Zoella.
We're talking about Monster Hunter Wilds and stuff.
Yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds, and we're, you know, I'm finishing up Half-Life 2. I don't have a lot to say. This is just the end part, which it is so weird. Okay, here's the thing. Weirdest thing to me is the end half where it really falls apart is, you know, Nova Prospect where it tries to be Half-Life. Then, you know, Anti-Citizen #1 where it basically tries to be Dollar Store opposing force. And now they do a lot of shit that Call of Duty does later, just better. Weird things to just notice on the playthrough. It's fine, but, you know, you feel this was cobbled together. But yeah, I think Monster Hunter was very, you know, just find it out yourself. That was always kind of a thing in the series.
Oh no, you could just read the in-game manual or the actual menu.
Yes, that was one thing. I totally agree with that part. It's just also... And let's just be real here. There were tutorials. They were just kind of better integrated in my opinion because... Well, Freedom Unite had a tutorial.
Roughly.
It literally had a school. It literally had a hunting school. And I liked the fact that the game was like, no. You can hit the school up if you want to. You can learn the stuff there if you want to. But that's your choice. You can just directly go into the game. We're not going to force anything onto you. And again, this is a series that was in that part so utter bare bones and yet consistently sold really high on, again, portable consoles, systems where usually sales numbers, like, keep in mind, most video games sell around 1 to 2 million. That is the average for, you know, most video games. If you look at, for example, you know, series where people are like, oh, hey, because a lot of people are like, why is suddenly everyone playing Monster Hunter? Listen, most game series that people think are big or, you know, influential, you know, for example, Dragon Age is, you know, for example, a good one, or most of them sold around 2 million copies, if not less. Those were big names. Monster Hunter consistently had double that on portable consoles, if not more. Because technically you could say, you know, because they, you know, re-released them all the time, a lot of them double dipped. Imagine you have a series where you sell like 4.4 million copies, and then you re-release that same, basically the same game with more content the next year, and you get the same numbers. That's just impressive as fuck. The only difference was Worlds was on console. It was on the, let's just be real here, most popular console at the time, and it looked very, very appealing to people. No, people, you know, a lot of people were like, you know, hey, you know, a lot of people also had, you know, stuff like 3 Ultimate on the Wii U, which is, listen. I do not hate on the Wii U, but it's very funny to bring up like, oh, it was, you know, it was a very popular game, yeah, obviously, but it was also kind of like the only action game you could play on it. But yeah, similar to Troy, like, you know, you had a Wii, you looked like, oh hey, that looks like a mature action RPG. That looks good. Monster Hunter was the only offering on that console. Yeah, and this was a series that, as said, barely gives you any, gave you any, you know...
It had no forced tutorial.
Yeah, it didn't give you a lot. It was more like, here's the game, do what you want. And a lot of people like that. Now, granted, you could argue that that might, you know, turn some people off. I think that just means integrated tutorial, how you had it, better. But, well...
While I reload.
I really forgot how fast they start to overuse the Striders. As impressive as they are, and as I really like the Striders, especially how they are animated. Holy overusage, Batman. Oh wait, that's one of us. Go. Oh well. Yeah, it's just once. Yeah, I don't get it because again. People who really think they are over, you know, you just hold back mechanics, people, you know, it doesn't even feel like a gradual thing to do because, like, why do you want to hold back cooking? Cooking is so simple, so minor, actually. Why is this a thing to focus on? Why do people think this is the problem the series had? Oh no, we introduced cooking too fast. Like, huh?
So,
Where's the way forward? There we go. Yeah, that was weird. Anyway.
We were looking to join you, Doctor.
And there we go, they give you more squad people. I think this is probably also one of those things where I'm like, it's just so dollar store opposing force because they're, you know, the people actually did something and you had to keep them alive.
Knocking over walls, and I think he's looking for Alex. He seems to have it set in his head that she's in the Citadel. I figured Alex wouldn't want him getting any deeper in trouble, but hell, you try stopping him.
Yeah, dog, do things.
Hey, dog, you're not there. You can't get through that way. Well, I'll be damned. I think he wants you to go through, Gordon.
Yep, if there wasn't an invisible wall. Oh well. Yeah, it's just, I don't get it. Don't get me wrong, I think, you know, whilst it's probably going to be a fun game still, again, the one reason I'm not playing the beta anymore is simply, it's not the game. Monster Hunter has a loop, you know? And despite everything, Wilds will have a similar loop. And I want to have that. I just don't know why I should be able to, you know, why I should wait with that. Why I should, you know, it's like, oh yeah, but you can, you know, kill Arkveld. I'm like, I will kill Arkveld anyway, a lot of times, because I can guarantee you that at least one piece of Arkveld's armor will be kind of mandatory for whatever weapons I'm going to play. Like, oh, you can get a feeling for the weapons, they're getting reworked anyway. But no, I mean, dual blades are like, dual blades and lance and a lot of weapons are reliant on elemental damage, and guess what's not in the game? It's all raw stuff right now, so why should I care? I just have given up on that beta, honestly. It's kind of hilarious. But yeah. I like Monster Hunter, and it's a bit sad that, you know, the mechanics that the series had seem to be getting shafted for things that sound good on paper, but I don't think actually add a lot.
Yes, yeah.
No! Orange cat behavior, just fucking up some of the most easiest things in the whole fucking game. I totally didn't notice that you can just fuck up there. Have I forgot it? I mean, I guess. But yeah. Big rant about Monster Hunter. Again. And it's not even out.
We're very sorry.
Like, sorry, the fact that the game is so unoptimized is like the best example that I feel like they probably either wanted to have one more year, but like it had to come out now. Which, you know, again, this is probably like the longest development cycle any Monster Hunter game had, so I actually kind of get why Capcom probably said, listen buddies, get your game out, because they probably wanted to innovate, and now we're getting basically, you know, the cheap version of it, because it's more like, hey, what were they actually able to finish up? Not really, you know, what was their actual vision for it? But yeah, we are definitely finishing up this game today. That could be the case, but like, here's the thing. From what I heard, Dragon's Dogma was a problem with their AI and NPC systems. Because Wilds is not that big. Let's just be real here. It's not really that big. I don't think the map size in Wilds is like significantly bigger than Rise. It doesn't even feel like it. And again, it probably could have run better if they didn't commit to have like over 40k polygons in a fucking salamander. Yeah, sorry to break it to you, but what? To everyone who doesn't know yet, the Chatacabra has 41k polygons in the model, which doesn't even have a good LOD thing going on right now. So
Yeah, apparently they have an algorithm for it, but the thing, at least in the betas, is so badly written
yeah, so
that it actually causes more problems.
which is probably like, yeah, they probably had like high quality models and shit, and never were able to actually finish anything to optimize that. But then you're like, oh wait, it's just that's just the monsters. No. So the Endemic Life also has a similar polygon count than Chatacabra. Anyway, that's also that rock you've pull onto the heads of monsters, over 80k polygons.
You still remember this number?
Yes.
It's been a long time since we talked about that one though.
High polygrapes all over. It is. It definitely is the high polygrapes all over. But also, no, our weapons are getting zapped. No. Oh, no. Wait, what? The Sapefim is weird. Anyway, we're God now.
So, this is Dr. Free. At last. I wish I could say this was a pleasant surprise, but it's not.
Shut up.
Very pleasant.
Oh, yeah. Yep, it definitely is the high polygrapes. And might be fixed with time, might not be fixed with time. From what I...
Yeah, that's an indie question. Like, is it just unoptimized, or do they really think that's what they
It is
want? You know?
Well, Dr.
Yeah.
Freeman, under other circumstances, I like to think we might have been able to work together in an atmosphere of mutual trust and respect. Certainly, judging from your brief tenure at Black Mesa while I was its administrator, you showed every promise of becoming a valuable and productive contributor to the scientific process. And yet, I'm not sure what spurred you to it. But there is really no place in this enterprise for a rogue physicist.
Shut the fuck up. But yeah, it's just wild, haha, so to say, that it's wild is just so unperformant actually. And
Then again, there's supposed to be a day one patch, so
it probably is better, but I doubt they, here's the thing, if the day one patch comes out, and it suddenly actually is performant, and I mean in the sense that, the whole thing has to be, scaled down in terms of, oh hey, much lower processors can actually play the game.
yeah, then you're wondering, right?
Then I'm generally wondering, but also I will be pissed because that would have meant I could have gotten the game for Agonia on PC. But I doubt that will be the case actually. Right now this seems to be the case of,
Partly to blame, of course. My disappointment in Eli Vance and Isaac Kleiner is far greater than my sorrow over your unfortunate choice
not have done otherwise. Who knows what seeds of iconoclasm they planted when you were young and gullible. But while they certainly share a great part of the responsibility for recent troubles, it is you alone who have chosen to act in such willful.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. I am God. Which is funny. It's just a fun thing to do. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it probably will be fixed with time, and I don't know if this means maybe we can actually play the expansion on PC, but who knows? It's just something that shouldn't happen. And again,
But that depends if I can even transfer the save.
that's a good question, actually, yeah. And like, the big thing is overall, in my opinion, that I really have some question marks in terms of where the series is heading, because here's the thing. I think there is a thing called open world syndrome. As in, a lot of people think that, you know, if a series is popular, you know, suddenly they have to change their formula and be more open and gameplay focused and shit like that. Like, you've seen this with Call of Duty, for example. People were like, "Oh no! The way the game handles gameplay is bad, and you need to be more open and player friendly." And the reality is, the fuck are you huffing? A lot of the newer titles have that, and they don't even compare to the old ones in terms of quality. Meanwhile, it feels like, you know, people treat because I feel like a lot of gameplay mechanics of older titles are treated, you know, not as genuinely good design, or, you know, genuinely a way to make a game more, you know, just better structured, but as, no, this has to be a problem because, you know, old technology. Oh, the Guildhall was there because... Shut up, you fucking fascist.
So much. What is it exactly that you have in the game? Can you name even one thing? I thought not.
I created chaos, you dumbass. Anyway. It's just... You know, oh hey, the Guildhall and stuff. It's just loading time so that the game can run. Yes, but also... It's a good structure, you know? It's one of those moments where it feels like they are changing the formula on a simple disregard of, oh, you know, those were the old mechanics, and, you know, we had to do them. We couldn't do, you know, we couldn't do bigger. So now we're doing bigger. And the question was never, is bigger better, actually? Is this actually a sensible thing to do?
Even better if you think of it differently. Is Wilds actually bigger?
Yeah.
In any relevant sense of the word.
Here's the thing. To me, Wilds doesn't feel bigger. It feels like it has the same problems as, ironically, World and especially Rise. Because Rise showed us the best. And I think a lot of people really, really wanted to overlook this part with Rise, because I I don't want to shit on the game because I like it. By the way, Zoella, thank you for the follow. Damn, we're getting up there. The thing is with Rise, Rise actually remade 3 very, very classic areas. Sandy Plains, Flooded Forest, and the jungle from second generation. Now, I love those areas. They've been burned into my mind because I played them a lot. They never felt so
The foundation for human
minuscule.
survival. And not as we have narrowly defined ourselves, but as something greater than we could ever imagine. Something we can now only begin to glimpse.
Like, that's the thing, you know? Because the old games had loading times, and I keep saying this, to abstract the areas they're in.
Well, they didn't necessarily have them only because of that, but they used them for that specifically.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big thing, you know? Yes, they did it so because, you know, they just needed the processing power of the portable consoles for something else. So yeah, there were simply loading times. But also, the loading times were used to also abstract how big an area actually is. So this was less often, you know, oh, you're in this big, you know, this big area. They were more like, here are snippets of the big area that you can keep, you know, remembering, and the rest, you know, is kind of stitched together by your brain. Yes, it is worth it. I think you get what I mean, right? It is a bit weird that all of this is just suddenly just thrown out of the window because suddenly the game had to be open world from the start. And weird? You know? It's weird. Again, open world syndrome. A lot of games just have it. I mean, hell, fucking Halo caught open world syndrome, and I know people are like, "Oh, but this was the original, this was the original idea anyway." Yes, I'm not saying anything against that. It's just, did anyone ever sit down and ask themselves for Infinite, do we really need that, or do we maybe just need a really well-designed game? And the answer was, actually, open world really sounds good as a buzzword on, spreadsheets. We all know how Infinite ended. It wasn't really that good. And we're not even talking about the multiplayer yet. Look at all those enemy designs that could have been used, but aren't. Oh well. It's the, you know what, the irony is you could always pull out that, you know, you can always pull out that Jurassic Park quote, you know, your scientists were so obsessed with what they could do they never stopped and thought if they should do it, or something like that. And like, yeah. No, my Zepephim.
I'll take him from here. Don't struggle, it's no use. Until you're where he wants you, there's nothing you can do. I'm sorry, Gordon.
Dun, 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 dun.
Vast meteorological intelligences, worlds stretched thin across the membranes where the dimensions intersect. Impossible to describe with our limited vocabulary.
What I've seen is also beyond words, Breen. Genocide, indescribable evil.
I mean,
Isn't Gordon Freeman at last?
we kind of had to take the easy route, I guess.
I'll put it over there. You have my gratitude, Doctor. First you lead me straight to the doorstep of my oldest friend. Then you deliver yourself. If I'd known you were going to come straight up to my office, I wouldn't have bothered hunting you in the first place. Having both of you in my keeping ensures I can dictate the terms of any bargain I care to make with the Combine.
Dr. Green.
Huh.
Wallace.
Yes, Judith, what is it?
The bargain we should be making is for Eli's life so he can continue his research.
Thanks to you, we have everything we need in that regard. You're more than qualified to finish his research yourself. What neither you nor I can do is convince that rabble in the streets to give up their senseless struggle. Yet Eli refuses to speak the words that would save them all.
Save them? For what?
Eli, if you won't do the right thing for the good of all people, maybe you'll do it for one of them.
Alex, honey,
Dad.
I mean, we just were idiots at this point.
when you let her go.
Yeah, it's all up to you, my old friend. Will you let your stubborn short-sightedness doom the entire species, or will you give your child the chance your mother never had?
How dare you even mention her?
Alex, my dear, you have your mother's eyes, but your father's stubborn nature.
You haven't seen a bit of it yet.
Really? Well, let's see how well it serves you on the far side of a combined portal.
Go ahead, Bree. If that's the worst you can do, send us both through your portal.
Oh, it's hardly the worst. You might find that hard to believe once you get there.
It isn't necessary.
I agree. It's a total waste. Fortunately, Resistance has shown it is willing to accept a new leader. And this one has proven to be a fine pawn for those who control him.
No.
Don't listen.
How about it, Dr. Freeman? You realize your contract was open to the highest bidder?
Gordon would never make any kind of deal with you.
I understand if you don't wish to discuss this in front of your friends. I'll send them on their way, and then we can talk openly.
Don't struggle, honey.
Dad, I'm so sorry.
Alex, sweetheart.
Judith, what do you think you're doing?
We're doing what I could never do alone. We're stopping you.
Yes.
Guards, get in here. They know you betrayed them. They'll turn on you. Judith, Dr. Mossman, please.
I'm sorry, Wallace. You're all out of time. Don't.
Hurry! Dad, hang on.
You fool!
Watch out, he's gonna...
No!
Oh no. Honestly, this scene feels very much like they had something planned, then just had to stitch it together somehow.
No. Don't worry about me, honey.
There's no time, Alex. He's on his way to the portal. You'll need this.
Dr. Mossman, Judith, look after my father.
Don't you worry.
Dad, I'm not saying goodbye.
Never.
Come on, Gordon. Let's go.
My girl.
Gordon, we haven't known each other very long, but I know you didn't have to do this. I had to rescue my father, but you... Well, thanks for coming after me. Hey, listen. That's him.
Yeah, it's still kind of weird to think about on repeated playthroughs how much Alex was actually just like legit bait.
He is. Damn it, not again.
Like,
The gravity gun. He doesn't have a clue, does he? I wonder where he's going.
that's the irony, you know?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, also,
This is the Citadel's dark fusion reactor. It powers their tunneling entanglement device. We'll never have a chance like this again. We've got to stop Dr. Breen.
god damn it, we're actually on time. I really thought with all the oh god, where to go and such, and the broken scripts we wouldn't make it, but
You'll have to go into the core and do what you can.
yeah.
Get in the elevator.
Oh well.
Don't forget to charge up your suit.
You know what? There's a certain irony that I think
Do your worst.
Half-Life 2 did a mistake
Careful.
that a certain other second game in another series didn't make. That's right, I'm talking about Dead Space. See, the thing is, Gordon never talks in Half-Life 1 or 2 or Episode 1, Episode 2, you know.
Dr. Freeman, you really shouldn't be out there. At the moment of synapse, as I teleport, this chamber will be bathed in deadly particles that have yet to be made by human cells. Perhaps when I have the leisure to do the work myself, I'll name one of them after you. That way you won't be completely forgotten. When the singularity collapses, I will be far away from here, in another universe, as a matter of fact. You, on the other hand, will be destroyed in every way it is possible to be destroyed, and even in some which are essentially impossible. I don't know what you can possibly achieve apart from
What?
your own annihilation.
What was that?
Don't listen to him, Gordon.
Just let me do it again.
Combine soldiers. Where did they come from?
I don't know what you can possibly hope to achieve apart from your own annihilation.
Don't listen to him, Gordon.
I warned you this was futile.
Anyway.
Great. Oh no, Breen started his ascent.
Oh well.
Hurry, Gordon, before he escapes.
But yeah, the thing is, Gordon just doesn't talk. And I know this is a thing where everyone's like, this is so good and great. Like, it's weird because I feel like people only extend this to, you know, games they like, but like, let's just be real here. It kind of sucks. This isn't like an easy, you know, a simple critique I'm making. It is just like, their writing actually is written as if, you know, Gordon Freeman talks back. But he never does, you know? And yet they want to have, you know, they want to have the whole...
Are you still with us, Dr. Freeman?
I mean,
Not for much longer, I think.
there is the, you know, there's the irony of, you know,
This energy for a useful purpose.
they do this so you can just self-insert, and let's just be real here. A lot of people self-inserted, to be like, Alex actually likes me, and it's like, no, no, you fucking nerd. She doesn't. She's not real.
My God. The portal is opening.
Get it.
Go back, Freeman. You have no idea what you're doing.
I hate this boss fight.
Your farewells.
By the way, this boss fight sucks.
Don't know what you'll unleash. You could bring down this whole Citadel. Think, man. Think of the people below.
Ah, that was it though. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Come on, Gordon. We've got to get out of here. Maybe we still have...
That's neat.
Time, Dr. Freeman?
I mean,
Is it really that time again?
yeah, right, it definitely saves the day.
Only just
Opening thing in admin mode is generally
A good idea, yeah.
in a small time span. You've done so well, in fact, that I've received some interesting offers for your services. Ordinarily, I wouldn't contemplate them, but these are extraordinary times. Rather than offer you the illusion of free choice, I will take the liberty of choosing for you. If and when your time comes round again. I do apologize for what must seem to you an arbitrary imposition, Dr. Freeman. I trust it will all make sense to you in the course of... Well, I'm really not at liberty to say. In the meantime, this is where I get off.
So here's the thing. I know why they did this ending. It's actually kind of neat, you know, just setting up for, you know, he will basically reawaken us at another time where he's, you know, needed by his contractors, whoever that is, and you're like, that's nice. That's you know, it's a fitting setup for. I mean, also it just spares them to do any actual ending. You know, they just say, nope, you will wake up somewhere else. And, you know, it's very open-ended and it's neat. It fits with the original ending. So next Sunday you will notice they literally